All right, good afternoon, YouTube. All right, so the project at hand today is to install this turn signal kit, street legal kit, I guess as you would call it, on our Pioneer 1006. So this is the kit that I got from Super ATV. There's your part number if you're interested in it. And the kit comes with some instructions, which are okay, I guess. You got your 4 turn signal lights for the front. We will have to drill into the plastic and pop these 2 on each side on the front. You get your switches. There's your direction switch, hazards and horn. You get a horn with brackets. You get the little computer that runs it all because it's self-canceling turn signals. You get a bag of zip ties and some buck connectors and things, and the wiring harness. So I think the biggest part to this project is going to be getting the wiring harness laced through all the way through to the back. So we'll have to mount a computer, run the harness, put our switches in, plug some things in, and we should have turn signals. So if you don't mind, follow along. Hopefully this helps you guys install yours. I'll let you know if there's any weird things that go on or whatever, but it looks like a pretty straightforward install. So without further ado, let's get to installing this harness. Alright, so first it tells you to pull your floorboards and stuff out of the inside to be able to route this wire down the side of the frame. There's a lot to pulling the floorboards out in this thing. A bunch of screws, a bunch of pop rivets. I think we can take this belly pans off the bottom and route it that way. I think it'll be a lot easier. I mean, I understand why they tell you to do what they're telling you to do, because usually you're on the floor working on it. It's a lot easier to do it than doing it overhead. Well, as you guys already know, I have a lift, so I'm going to try to do it that route, and we'll pull these covers off and we'll see if it'll work that way. I hope it does, because I really don't want to pull the floorboards out. That's a lot of bolts and a lot of hardware. Let me zip this belly pan plastic off here and I'll bring you right back. All right, I got the belly pans off. So it looks like, from what I can tell, that we're going to be able to do it this way. So we're going to be coming down right up in there. That's where our harness is going to come down. So what we'll do is we'll just follow these cables right here that go back to the transmission. We'll zip tie the harness to all those, and then we'll connect into this, follow this harness all the way to the back, and then it goes up the frame. It's hard for you to see that. It goes up the frame. Right here's the harness, and it starts up the tube of the frame. So I believe that's what we're going to do. So now what I got to do is I got to set it back down, and we got to start fishing this harness down through from the top, under the hood, down and out the bottom. So let's set this thing back down real quick. Once we get it down, I'll kind of show you where I'm going to shove it down through at. There is a plate underneath the dash, kind of by the throttle and the brake, that can come out if you was going to run it that direction. I'm hoping that I can fish it down through there without tearing all that stuff out and trying to avoid it. Get this thing back on the ground, at least close enough that we can reach everything. All right, good enough. So there should be a plate. You know, you can't see it really. Let me grab a light. A little dark in there. Let me grab this light here. Now you'll be able to see it. There's a plate right there. See those 2 bolts? That plate will come off, and we might have to pull it off. I don't know yet. I haven't completely deemed that yet. I mean, the instructions tell you to, but you can kind of do it however you feel you want to do it. So, but I think we can get this tucked right down through there, and that should drop us right where we want to be. So I don't know how I'm gonna get you down in there. You see back in there, you can see back of the factory switches right, this is hard to do, right, oh, I guess I can't really point them out. If you look really close, you can see where this blue wire comes out down there. That's the factory switches. So our switch wires are going to be going right into that. So let me get this harness strung out, and I'll try to fish it down through there, and I'll bring you back as soon as I get it in there. Okay, so I got the harness pulled down through there. Went down right there around our cables. See our harness right here? Down through there, and we popped out of that rubber boot right there. Put that back over the hole. So right there, if you can see that wire loom coming out beside that cable. So the next thing we'll have to do is fish it down behind all that stuff to the ground down by the diff. So that's my next adventure there. All right, I'll bring you right back. All right, that was a little bit of a struggle, but we got it. We got it down through there. Now it's hanging out of the bottom down there. Okay, we're gonna deal with that after we get all the stuff up here buttoned up. So I would say this is horn wires. These two here, see this one and this one, these are our switch wires. And then these two here are left turn and right turn. So I believe the yellow and black are going to the driver's side. Somewhere within these instructions it tells you that. Yellow and black wire set to the driver's side to install the light in your desired location. So there are yellow and blacks. These ones here, they go to our driver's side. That means the green and black go to our passenger side. So now we got to figure out exactly how we want to fish all this stuff to make it work out. So let me get some stuff organized here, and I'll bring you right back. Okay, we got wires everywhere here. So we've got our right turn stuff, our horn wires, our left turn stuff. We have our computer installed. I just screwed it right there. That's plugged in. Next we got to get these into the dash. Those are for our switches. So what we're going to have to do is grab us a little, kind of a small screwdriver here. Pop a couple of our covers out. Just like that. Now we got to route those wires down to them. So what I would like to do is, so this one is our hazards. So that one's going to go on the right side. This one will go towards the drive or the turn signal switch. We can actually set those inside the cab. Let's just set them up here on the steering column for now. So the turn signal switch has more connections, correct? Yes. So it's going to be this plug. This is going to go towards our steering wheel, towards the driver's side. Now, what I'm going to do is get this light. We're going to shine it through the dash here. And see if we can't see that light coming through the dash from the inside. And we can. You see them. The light shining through right back in there. Those are our holes. So this one's going for the driver's side. I'll try to fish that back in there. It's really awkward to film. Push that one through. Now we'll go ahead and get the other one. Same thing. Kind of got to do it blind. Alright, so now when we go back there, we should have 2 wires sticking out of the dash. And we do. 1, 2. Okay. So now we can plug our switches into them. So the first one we got is turn signal switch, which is the one with the bunch of wiring. It will plug in that manner there. Get plugged all the way in. Now we can push this back into the dash. Sorry guys, this is really hard to film. I'm doing the best I can. There's one. We'll plug in this one. Shove our wiring back in. Push those in there. All right, so our switches are installed. All right, now we'll have some extra wire here we're gonna have to zip tie up. I gotta remount this relay. That relay to remount, got some wires to do up there, but I think first we're gonna go underneath and try to route that wire to the back. Let's go up with it. Let me get my stuff off the top here. Okay, set the lift down on its locks. So now we've got to get that wire routed all the way down through there. So let me get that stretched through there and I'll bring you right back. Okay, we got the wire routed through all the cross members. Got it just following down through there, all the way down and up through there. So when we come back down here to put our belly pants back on, we will zip tie all that stuff up. I don't want to zip tie nothing until I double check the function, make sure everything is working like it's supposed to. So let's bring this thing back down and we'll go back there towards the tail lights and figure out exactly how that all goes together. Like I said, the instructions are kind of vague. They're not great. So if you got any questions, please by all means shoot me a comment on there and I will answer your question to the best of my ability. And but I mean, if you have any kind of mechanical ability, it's pretty straightforward. Wires you got to get somewhere so they can get hooked up and make the lights work. It's not necessarily rocket science. So there's our harness. I'm going to stuff it up through this hole here with the rest of this wiring and follow this loom right up into here to this back area. I believe that's where our plugs are. Yep. Right there's the plug we got to tap into. I don't know if you can see that or not. That plug right there is the one we got to tap into with the harness. So let me route this up through there real quick and I'll bring you right back. Okay, so we got that routed through there, up through between that beam. So now we got to plug into our harness. So pretty cut and dry. It's just a pigtail that branches in between the harness. So here's the original harness. We'll plug into that. I got to find a way to set you guys up here so you can see what I'm doing. Maybe that'll work. Maybe it won't. So we have our plug-in for the original plug-in from the side-by-side and our new harness, and they just plug together. Easy as that. Just like that. And this one will plug back in, hook back to our tail lights. Just like that. Here's our fusible link. I got a cap for that up there. Then we got these two wires left. This one here, it has a little cap on the end of it. That is for our license plate light whenever we add that. And I believe this one here goes up into the back panel in the bed to get power. I believe that's why that's there. So we need to run this down through there and get it back there with that harness. Like so. We'll go ahead and route this one back there too. So that's going to be our license plate light whenever we get to that point. Now we can run this harness up into our bed. It's got to go up through that hole. So now what we need to do, set the bed down. Let's come down a little bit on our lift. So I believe this is where this whole system's getting power, because I haven't seen power wires anywhere else. I think we're going to end up taking that off, shoving that wire up in there, and that wire is going to plug into the back of this 12-volt receiver, or 12-volt outlet, I guess I should say, as they used to call it, a cigarette lighter plug. Let me grab a small screwdriver, and we will pop that apart and see what we get. So let's pop these little push pins out of there. There's one. Didn't make those very easy to get to, that's for sure. Two. There we go. Now I see how it works. Okay. So we need a Phillips screwdriver, and we'll pop our tail light out. get this tail light out of here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing or not. A couple Phillips screws holding the tail light in. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. Unless this, I don't know. I guess we'll figure that out. It's the only plug I see that looks like it, so let's just look at the instructions real quick. Like I said, they're not great, so hopefully we can figure out what we need. Let's find our tail light area right here. Yep, so we're taking the old plug, the stock plug out, and plugging the new one in. Okay. So let's do that. Out with the old, in with the new. Just like that. Now we can put our tail light back in there. Now, by rights, the rear lights should be working. Obviously, the front lights are not hooked up yet, but we should have turn signals, I would think. I don't know if we do or don't. Don't look like we do. Unless we have our plugs in the wrong spot on our computer. And that's what it was. Our plugs were backwards on the computer. They don't tell you which plug goes where. It's really vague. So, yeah, let me see if I can't get you a shot of which one goes where. That way you guys know. I don't know if I'll be able to tell you this or not, 'cause it's hard to see back in there. So, we're gonna get turned sideways for a minute, but so there's the computer. I don't know if I can get this in there enough so you can see the colors of the wires. So that's the orientation of the plugs, if that helps any. The one with the orange wire goes on the bottom, technically, bottom. So, yeah, see, bad instructions, doesn't tell you where stuff goes. Super ATV, you gotta do better than that. You could at least just lay out a wiring diagram even. Then the back sheet of the paper label, you have all the wires labeled on the whole harness. Make a wiring diagram with those labels. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody knows right where to plug everything in. Trying to follow incomplete directions isn't fun, especially if you got somebody that really doesn't know what they're doing, but they're trying their best. So, Super ATV, need to update that one. Not good. Not good at all. So now we got to drill some holes in the front to mount our little turn signal lights. These little fellas. Let me figure out where I want to put them. Just get a drill set up and I'll bring you guys back. All right, so another thing they don't tell you in the book, what size hole you got to drill. You're gonna need a 3/4 inch bit. Best thing to really do it with is a good old step drill. I kind of just figured out they have you putting them up here in the plastic and down here in the plastic and stuff. I really don't want to drill into that plastic. I did it in the fender flare, one forward, one to the side, because that's a lot easier and cheaper to replace if you ever wanted to get rid of this system. So what I did is I just drilled me a hole. Like that. Poke the plastic out of it. And I come up here and drilled me another one. Like so. And then we just pop the lights in. So when they put this on there, they went ahead and put your weather pack terminal on, which is great. Saves you from having to do it. You got to pop that rubber loose off there, off of the light. Shove the wire in, then get that rubber seated all the way in there. Sometimes they can be a little bit of a chore to get in there all the way. Once you got it in, then you just shove your light into it. And that's it. It's that easy. You can place these technically wherever you want, as long as they're visible from the front. That's really what matters. Put that one in there. Shove our light in there. Boop, just like that. Now we'll be able to terminate these wires. So we got these, doesn't matter which one plugs into where, as long as they're plugged in. Exactly the same circuit, so just like that. And then we can plug our other ones in. Like that. Like that. All right, so now I noticed something messing with this. If you just bump the turn signal, it comes on for a short period of time. Kind of like just touching your blinker in your newer cars. But if you hold it, it'll stay on for a lot longer. And it ties right into the factory tail lights, which is kind of cool. So that's all blinking and working. Our other side should be doing the same thing. Yep, we got blinks up there. Okay. Now we have to install our horn and zip tie everything up. And this project is almost over. Let me get the horn out of the box. We'll get it installed and get it plugged in, make sure it works. And then we'll go through, zip tie everything up, put our belly pans back underneath there. And that's it for the Street Legal Kit. Pretty simple, really. If you got any questions, like I said, please throw a comment down there and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. If you need more focus on something, let me know. I can make another video and kind of answer your question that way. So I'll be right back. Okay, our horn is installed. I'll show you where that's at. Right there. Pretty easy to get to. And let's double check, make sure that's going to work before we finalize this project. Seems to be working. Make sure the hazards work. We got blinkage, blinkage, blink, and a blink. All right. Looks like everything's working. So all in all, really nice kit actually. The The harness is really professional. The computer's professional. We'll see how long it lasts. I'm not sure, but the kit is really nice. The instructions, not so much. Wiring diagram would help. The pictures are kind of iffy, and they don't really tell you where the plugs go, especially on the computer. They don't tell you which plugs where. If they could just number that stuff, stick it on a wiring diagram, it'd be so much simpler. But only thing I got left to do is zip tie stuff up, throw the belly pants back on it. No need for you guys to watch that part. It's kind of boring. I'm assuming if you're trying to do something like this, you've used zip ties. I think everybody on the planet's used zip ties before. So, like I said, if you got any questions, leave me a comment. If you need another video, something a little closer up while you're doing yours, let me know. I'll make you another video. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video with your friends, let everybody know. We will be getting back on the Power Wagon. I have the rear axle stripped right now. The brake parts are really hard to get for this truck that I've realized. You can get them, but they're high dollar. So we're going to be doing a custom four-wheel disc brake conversion on this thing. I got some rotors and calipers and stuff that I'm going to get. We'll have to make some flanges, do some machining, get it all fit together. But we will get that rounded up. So Power Wagon project is coming up. I got a couple things I need to do. I do have a project sitting outside right now. I got to take the old centers out of some tractor wheels, weld some tabs in it, put new centers in it for a guy. I'll try to bring you along on that. I'm a little behind on videos. I'm trying to get caught up. I have a lot going on, so it's really difficult sometimes to film this stuff. That was really difficult to film some of those areas just because it's such a tight area and you're trying to get your arms up in there and stuff. Like I said, if you didn't see everything, please let me know. I'll try to do my best to answer your questions. With that being said, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.